Today I will let you continue to appreciate Cheng Yet-Por's fish, birds, and various animals of the Chinese zodiac. I will also introduce the artists who inscribed on Cheng's paintings. The picture on the right titled, Two Catfish in the Creek. Nan-Hui Jin's inscription as, How can a stream keep the moonlight for too long? He, Cheng, will be the tower of strength in midstream, means in troubled times. Professor Nan-Hui Jin lived from 1918 to 2012. He was also the person who praised Cheng Yet-Por as the first person in 300 years in the previous episode. This picture inscribed as Nian Nian Euu means may there be surplus year after year, by Fu Xian Fu. In the summer of 1977, Fu wrote this in his studio named Xin Xiang, means heart fragrance, room. Because Cheng Yet-Por happened to have a solo exhibition at the National Museum of History in Taipei, in June, they met again. Chang Dai-Chien wrote this postscript. The meaning of this poem is that the algae are flipping, and the crisscrossed fish tails are alive. It was wonderful to see these fish marching forward like an army. If Cheng Yet-Por had not deeply understood the joy of watching fish in the water, he would not have painted such unrestrained and free fish. On the 17th day of the first lunar month in 1974, Cheng Yet-Por drew this happily fish painting, and Chang Dai-Chien picked up poems from the Song dynasty as a postscript. Chang made it up one day later, on the 18th day of the first lunar month. This is the picture, titled Fish and Lotus. The postscript behind the first part of the overall inscription, on the left, means, Chang Dai-Chien chatted with Cheng Yet-Por at night on February 16 of the lunar calendar in 1974. It was past midnight, and everyone was still up. Cheng Yet-Por suddenly got excited for painting. He picked up the calligraphy brush and began to draw a fish. Afterwards, Cheng asked Chang Dai-Chien not only to finish the remaining parts but also to write an inscription. Dai-Chien thought hard for a long time and could not get any poems, so he took a poem from the Song dynasty and wrote it down casually. It was like drinking up someone else's wine glass to quench the depression in his heart. This made both laugh. Chang Dai-Chien wrote and was 76 years old at Huanbiang, Chang's home at Pebble Beach, California. One of the seals of Cheng Yet-Por is 60 years old plus. I checked it and found that Cheng Yet-Por was 67 years old at the time, so there was a total age difference of 9 years between them. This picture is a joint painting in the spring of 1974. Yet-Por painted a cat and Dai-Chien added lotus, stone, and swimming fish. This picture was another joint painting in March 1974 by Cheng Yet-Por, panda, and Chang Dai-Chien added bamboo. After viewing these two joint works, the momentum and skill are much weaker than the previous painting showed that Chang Dai-Chien gave to Ambassador Drumright couple. After further study, I discovered that the main reason was that Chang Dai-Chien was almost blind in his left eye during cataract surgery in February 1970. The doctor asked him to stop using his eyesight and not to paint. However, he still worked hard and created a modern style of splashing ink and color painting in later years. Therefore, when he painted with Cheng Yet-Por from 1972 to 1976, his eyesight and physical health were not so energetic as 16 years ago. In addition, Chang Dai-Chien arrived in California in 1967. He bought a small house in Carmel first, named Ku-Yi-Ju, means able to live. Later, he moved to Pebble Beach and bought a bigger house with a large garden, named Huanbiang. Cheng Yet-Por ran the Chinese Art Gallery in Carmel then, which is 2.4 miles away from Pebble Beach. Therefore, the two joint painted more than 100 paintings together within 5 years. After completing these joint paintings, Cheng Yet-Por and Chang Dai-Chien hold an exhibition at the National Museum of History in Taipei from April 19 to 23, 1974. And the two also joint painted together on the spot. This goldfish, Cheng signed as Nan Do, the stars at the southern sky, Sagittarius milk dipper. In the book Cheng Yet-Por by Lu Rui Ting, who recorded on the manuscript of Cheng Jiaxiong, Cheng Yet-Por's son, that because Cheng Yet-Por has 7 moles on his abdomen, which look like the 7 stars of the southern dipper, so Cheng Yet-Por once named himself as Nan Do. and later changed it to Beidou, the Big Dipper at the northern sky. Later, he felt that Beidou was a bit arrogant, so finally changed his pen name to Budou, not arrogant. This is a painting exhibited at the National Museum of History in February 1984. This inscription by Fu Xianfu is a loner. This one is wandering freely. I have briefly introduced Fu Xianfu before. When I was working on the donation list of books for Qi Kong last 2 weeks, I discovered that Fu Xianfu had not only published art albums by himself but also published a book, The Basic Sketch Skills for Landscape Paintings. It includes beautiful examples by Fu Xianfu for teaching beginners to learn the skills to draw clouds, waterfalls, trees, mountains, and rocks. If the students can find this precious textbook to study how to draw Chinese landscapes, they will get twice better the result with only half the effort. This one is rushing ducks who like to be the first to catch a fish. This painting is a collaboration between Liu Jipiao and Cheng Yet-Por. Liu Jipiao was from 1900 to 1992. In 1926, he was the provost of the National Hangzhou Academy of Art and the head of the Department of Architectural Design as well as of Pattern Design. When Cheng Yet-Por transferred to the Pattern Design Department, Liu Jipiao admired Cheng's talents very much then. After arriving in New York in 1949, Liu Jipiao interacted with Cheng Yet-Por often. Later, he moved to the UK in 1978. Americans named Liu Jipiao as the master of Chinese porcelain painting. He was a famous architect and artist. This As Spring Comes to the World was a joint work which Cheng Yet-Por drew sparrows and Liu Jipiao painted plum blossoms and inscribed. This picture, The Autumn Wild Geese Knew Their Direction and Flew to Taiwan Together, shows in the early spring of 1982 that Yao Menggu wrote a postscript for Cheng Yet-Por. Owing to Yao was 4 years younger than Cheng Yet-Por, he wrote, "My respectfully inscription." Yao Menggu lived from 1912 to 1993. He was a famous poet, calligrapher, painter, and art critic. In 1956, he played a key role in establishing the National Museum of History in Taiwan. When this eagle flutters its wings, 10,000 miles is already passing by. In January 1967, Cheng Yet-Por painted, and Lin Qingnin inscribed the title and the words of "O Great Fortune" in San Francisco. Lin Qingnin, 1914 to 2002. We learned from earlier that he was a student of Huang Junbi. Now I discovered that when Cheng Daiqian bought his Huanbiang in Pebble Beach, California, in 1971, he contacted the most with 2 painters at that time. One was Cheng Yet-Por, and the other was Lin Qingnin, who operated a China gallery in San Francisco. They all introduced their networks to Cheng Daiqian for promoting Cheng's influence in the United States. The eagle soars into the sky when he flutters his strong and powerful wings, Huang Yao inscribed in 1982. Huang Yao was born in Shanghai from 1914 to 1987. He served as the art editor of Shanghai News in his early years. After the 1930s, he became extremely popular with the Niu Bizi, means bull nose, series of comics. After 1945, he traveled to Vietnam and Thailand. After working as a teacher in Malaysia in 1956, he painted a lot of paintings of Southern Ocean countries. I guess when Cheng Yet-Por went to Malaysia to hold an art exhibition in 1982, Cheng painted this painting on the spot, and asked Huang Yao to inscribe then. This, 2 Cranes in a Quiet Stream, is a permeable paper painting which was on display at the National Museum of History in Taipei in 1977. Here are more zodiac signs of animals. The first one is that there should be unfiltered wine in the urn. This is Pu-Ru, 1896 to 1963, whose courtesy name is Xin-Yu. His ancestor is Yi-Sin, the former Prince Gong of the Qing dynasty. His works often inked the seal of a grandson of Old Prince. Together with Cheng Daiqian, people called them South Chang and North Pu. The Night Visitor on the right is a permeable paper painting which Cheng exhibited at the National Museum of History in Taipei in 1977. This painting, Lu Lu Yen Yen, means to record happiness and longevity, is a semi-abstract finger painting. He also titled it Bu Do Finger Play, which means that he draws this painting with his fingers like playing a game. The two monkeys on the left, Cheng painted in 1957. I am not sure who inscribed it. This lady first signed as Sun Yang means obedient sheep. Sun Yang is also Cheng Yet-Por's pen name. He was born in the year of Ding Wei, which belongs to the sheep zodiac. He also believes that a person must be respectful and humble to others as the characters of a sheep, hence he signed him name as Sun Yang. The last one is a ripping stems finger painting with all 12 zodiac animals together with Jin Shi, Zhong Kue in one painting. Jin Shi is a successful candidate in the highest imperial examinations. It is highly creative and unique. In the next issue, I will continue to introduce Cheng Yet-Por. Stay tuned.